Welcome to my list of favorite games of 2023. I'm going to break down a few of my favorite games that came out this year. As a lot of people know, this was a really good year for video games, and there are still quite a few games that came out this year that I haven't gotten to yet, like Baldur's Gate 3, Star Ocean 2nd Remake, stuff like that I just haven't had the time to play yet. But this is my list so far of the games that came out this year that I have played that I've really enjoyed. So first up, I have Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. This game basically took Spider-Man and Miles Morales and just did it bigger and did it better. And though I know there are some criticisms with the game being seen as a little short, I really enjoy that. I work full time, I'm a dad, so having that short game that was as AAA as this was, as amazing as this was such a treat. And I just had so much fun swinging around New York. The added mobility that came with the PS5 of being able to go faster and the wingsuit really amplified the game. But on top of that, I really like Miles Morales as a character ever since the Spider-Verse movie. So of course, seeing him, grow in his role as Spider-Man was really satisfying. And honestly, one of my favorite parts of this game was playing it with my son because he really enjoyed swinging around. So during the day, he would get to play and he would be swinging around and, stumbling upon anything that he found. And then at night, I would continue with the story. And there are some really cool story beats that luckily I didn't get spoiled for me, which is really rare in this day and age. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say. I know this game has been talked to death, but it was just such a fun experience and, in my opinion, worth every penny. Continuing in a similar vein as what came before and just enhancing it, we have Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I had so much fun with this game as well. I think this is the game I played the most or played for the longest amount of time, and just being able to build upon what came before. And at first I was a little disappointed that we didn't get the Sheikah Slate back. I was expecting that. I wasn't really watching trailers. I wasn't watching impressions or anything like that, so I had no idea that we weren't going to be getting those abilities from the Sheikah Slate, but I didn't miss them. I found that the new abilities we got were so much better and more versatile, where at the beginning I missed having bombs. I missed being able to do bombs wherever I wanted. I missed being able to freeze the water and walk across a bridge, but you don't need that stuff. You can fuse a rock to your sword and that would be better than a bomb, or you can craft a bomb arrow, or you can build a bridge using Ultra Hand, connecting a bunch of logs together. And it was just, I hope they don't do a third game in this timeline. I think it's been confirmed that they're moving on because there's just no way to follow up with that. I did have some disappointment with the dungeons. I think they were a nice touch, and they were definitely better than the Breath of the Wild dungeons, but I will always be an old school 3D Zelda guy, and I grew up playing Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Skyward Sword. I'm one of the people who really love Skyward Sword, but I definitely liked this game. It reminds me a lot of Spider-Man 2, where it had such a strong foundation and it just built upon it so much. And I don't really, again, have much else to say. I think the story was interesting. I do have some criticisms with how they handled that as well. They easily could have made the story make a little more sense, because if you get the memories out of order, or it's supposed to be you can go wherever you want, do whatever you want, but the memories are in a specific order, so it kind of ruins a lot of the suspense if you get to certain memories early. But overall, again, just really amazing game that built upon its predecessor and did a great job. And the third game that I want to talk about is Super Mario RPG. Loved this game. I don't have that much of a history with the game. I had a friend who emulated a lot when we were in middle school, and he let me borrow his computer for a few weeks at one point when he was on vacation, and I played through about maybe 2 hours of it. But at that point, I hadn't yet realized how much I loved JRPGs. So I didn't get as far as I wanted. And then again, when the Super Nintendo Classic came out, I played maybe about an hour with my son, and he was not interested at all. So, everybody always talks about how the game looks so cute. The gameplay is really fun. The graphics are good. The story is really funny, and all of that is true. But honestly, for me, my favorite part was seeing how my son reacted to this game, because I initially was playing it when he was in bed, when he was at school, and I had a little extra time, um, because I didn't think he would enjoy this style of game. I didn't think a turn-based game was something that he would like. I grew up watching my older brother play Final Fantasy VII, and then that sparked a love of JRPGs for me. But my son has never really been into that sort of thing before. But the best part was, eventually it got to the point where he was watching me play here and there, and he told me, "Hey, can you play that Mario RPG game? I want to watch." And he would sit there and he would watch me play, which again is really rare for him. He likes to play games, he likes to play Minecraft and stuff like that. So for him to ask me to play a game and for him to watch it is really rare, and that is a huge testament to this game. So on top of it being an amazing game, it also was really fun to play with my son. And eventually we got to the point where we went to visit my dad, and he brought a little bucket of toys, and I was helping my dad with some office work. And I look over and my son has all the figures lined up like it's a turn-based battle. And he's like, now it's this person's turn. Now it's this person's turn. So as a JRPG fan, it was really cool to see that as well. The fourth game is Resident Evil 4 Remake. This game was incredible. I love this game. I don't often play games multiple times. I've beaten this game 3 times so far, which for some people is not that much. I think you need to do at least 7 or 8 to get the platinum trophy. But for me, that's huge, because I love to just move on to the next thing. I love to play the next new thing. But this game is incredible. It did a really good job of, it's not a one-to-one remake. So my first run, there were some areas that were smaller, some areas that were bigger. The castle was just different. The village it was mostly the same, but the scale was off, and there were some things that felt a little different. And you don't have that segment where you go down the ski lift. And so the first time through, I was just kind of reorienting myself with the world and seeing what had changed. And yeah, like I said, it's not a one-to-one remake, but I think it keeps all the best aspects from the original game and modernizes them. On top of that, it adds more to the story. Not as much as I think some people would have liked, because there were still some crazy things that happen and Leon just doesn't react to it. But that is Resident Evil 4. And I guess that's just my point, is they captured the spirit of the original game and did such an amazing job. And I'm just over the moon about this game. I eventually would like to get the platinum trophy. I know that's a long process and it takes a lot, but I think eventually I could do it if I just keep doing my rounds. But regardless, yes, Resident Evil 4 Remake is amazing, and it was definitely one of the highlights of the year. As someone who, again, grew up playing Resident Evil 4, that was my first Resident Evil game that I ever beat, that I really got into. So, incredible. And the last game that I wanted to talk about that really took me by surprise, and I was not expecting this, is Pikmin 4. I love this game. I downloaded the demo and immediately fell in love with it. I am the type of person who likes a collectathon, and this game is very much a collectathon. I had Pikmin 1 and 2 on the GameCube, never played the third one even though I have a Wii U, and I wasn't expecting that much. So my son thought, these guys looked really cute. Let's give it a try. Tried the demo, and I immediately decided I need to buy this game. And not only that, but I ended up getting a physical copy of Pikmin 1 and 2 also, because I want to go back and replay those games. I think that this is honestly just such a surprise, and I couldn't put it down. And I put maybe 40 hours into it, and I 100%ed every area, and I did all the challenges, and it was so much fun. And like I said, a surprise for me, because I would never have guessed Pikmin 4 would be one of my favorite games of 2023 in a year that's just full of amazing games. And it was. And lastly, there are some games that came out digitally that I don't have physically that I just want to give a shout out to, because I really love these games too. And that would be Alan Wake 2 and Sea of Stars. I know Sea of Stars is getting a physical copy later, but I couldn't wait. I love Golden Sun. I love the Mario and Luigi games on Game Boy, and this game just felt just like that. And it was so charming and fun. And I know some people knock the story, and some people somehow hate Garl as a character. I don't understand that at all, but I love that game. Again, it was one of those games where once I was in, I couldn't put it down, and nothing else mattered because I needed to play that game. And Alan Wake 2, incredible game. I am excited to do the New Game Plus because I hear that there's a new ending. So, so yeah, I mean, that's overall. Like I said, there are so many games that came out this year, and these are just a handful. I loved Hogwarts Legacy. Um, there were some that kind of disappointed me a little bit, like Final Fantasy 16 and Jedi Survivor, but ultimately, at the end of the day, if you like those games, that's awesome. And I just think it's a great time to be a gamer. And if you've watched this video so far, thank you. I know I really am a nobody, but I just have no one to talk to about this stuff, so I decided I would start talking on YouTube. So thanks, and if you want, let me know what your favorite games of the year were.